Okay. Is that... Yeah, this guy started posting these huge breakdowns with like ChatGPT saying that he won. And it's like, it's so unbelievably cringe. Wait, not this. Look at his prompt. AI analyzed my debate against Destiny. It concluded that David Kite, is that how you pronounce his name? Wins the debate based on factual accuracy, argument strength, rhetorical effectiveness. Wait, where do you see his prompt? To ensure a fair and non-biased assessment of my recent debate with Destiny, I submitted the entire raw transcript of our exchange to ChatGPT and asked for an objective analysis. Here's how that process was structured. Debate transcript.pdf. Why did he submit a PDF? Couldn't you just ask it to look at the debate? Here's a transcript of my debate against Destiny. I want you to analyze the debate based on accuracy of facts and strength of argument. I want you to take into account major falsehoods, like Destiny claiming intent matters when violating USC 1325. Wait, why would he include that? Wait, why would you include the prompt if you're gonna lie? If you're gonna bias the prompt? Hold on. Time to ask my good friend Grok. All right, Grok, here we go. Give me the... Anything over... Hello, Grok. No! I pushed enter, my bad. Hello, what's on your mind today? Sorry, okay. Here is a debate between two online political debaters. I don't know. Here's a debate between two people. Can you... Do I say analyze the transcript? Just watch it? Can you watch it and give me a breakdown on how you felt each person did in the debate? Rate them based on their factual accuracy, their... Well, what? Their... Give it the transcript? Why? I should be able to just link him the YouTube video. He can watch it. He's not retarded. The strength of their arguments, he needs the transcript? No. He's smart. He can do it. Fuck you. I don't think they can watch videos. What? What? Hold on. You know what? Hold on. I'll ask it. Are you able to do a debate breakdown of this YouTube video? Question mark. Let's search for transcripts or summaries to get the content. He can. He is doing it. Oh, you lied to me. Fuck you guys. Now I didn't even ask him the real question. Oh, wait. Hold on. Wait. He fucked up. Wait. The video seems to be Ben Shapiro versus Destiny debate on Lex Friedman podcast number 410. Wait, no. Wait. That's not what I gave you. Oh, God. It's literally just Googling transcripts? No, that would be so stupid. Oh, look, he's figuring it out. He's so smart. He said, the video title is Destiny versus David Cage debate, blah, blah, blah. I initially thought it was Ben Shapiro versus Destiny, but the URL points to a different debate. Since it's recent, transcripts might not be available yet. Exploring transcript options. Oh, see, he's looking. He's... Okay. Okay, I'll let him think for a little bit. So if you give it a transcript, it could have skipped this, right? He's smart enough not to need one. You think he can't watch a fucking YouTube video, bro? Wait, no, why are you doing this? Wait, David Kite posted ChatGPT gave him 4.1 out of 5 and Destiny 3.3 out of 5 based on the transcript. No, that's not, he used ChatGPT. Can you pause? Wait. Jesus, oh my God, he's searching through so much. His brain is just... His brain is processing. Look at this guy's less biased prompt. Oh, I like this one because it gives me a better grade. What was this guy's prompt? James MIB recruitment analysis. Oh my God. Analyze this debate. Who won? Who gave more accurate statements? Oh. Look at all those A's. Oh my God. Okay, okay, Jesus. ChatGPT did a big old thing. Who won? ChatGPT. Okay, Grok says, now I don't know where he's getting his thing, okay? But Grok says, Destiny excelled in delivery, composure, and audience engagement, e.g. dismantling rhetoric with data, weak in factual accuracy, 5+ errors, some core like IRS figures and USC 1325 intent, relied on pivots and generalizations when pressed, according to @Gravtum he cites for that tweet. AI grades 3.3 out of 5 B in biased analysis, but higher in neutral ones, factor-driven, steer debate effectively, and cites Dave Nuremberg on that. David Kite, he says, strong on factual counters, e.g. deficit increases, child tax credit, and layered arguments against overreach, weak in emotional reactivity, structure, and evidence depth, often unhinged per observers, losing composure. AI grades 4.1 out of 5 in his prompted analysis, but lower neutrality, according to Gravtum. And then who won? Based on neutral AI evaluations and X reactions, Destiny edges out due to better logic, clarity, and control, despite some factual slips, making his case more persuasive overall. Kite scored points on facts, but undermined them with poor rhetoric. Community split. Destiny fans call it a slaughter. Kite denied saying California pays for everything seconds after, for example, while Kite claims AI victory via biased prompts. Substantiated verdict, Destiny won on substance and style, but both need better fact-checking for credibility. Thank you, Grok. Grok is the best. We stand Grok here. Is this really is this going to be the future? Is us just like using AI against each other? What is this? Here is a transcript of the debate. I want you to analyze the debate based on accuracy of facts and strengths of arguments. I want you take in, nice typo dipshit. I want you take in account, I want you to take in account of major falsehoods by both debaters. Factually accurate claims. Destiny. Cool. David. Ooh, false or misleading claims. Uh-oh. David. Destiny. Claims Trump did nothing for immigration reform. Well, I did say he did executive orders. Not very impressive, ChatGPT, but okay. Dismissal of border crisis concern. Destiny sometimes brushes off the salience of border issues despite widespread bipartisan concern. Good one. Claim that illegal immigration doesn't affect average Americans. This doesn't affect him personally and implies minimal impact. This overlooks regional resource strain like New York City and Chicago. even if not universal. I'm not from New York City or Chicago. Strongest arguments. Weakest arguments. Destiny correctly supports reform, but underplays the public's concerns and offers little in terms of real-time solutions beyond pass a bill. That darn legislation. Conclusion, debate quality. Factual accuracy. Checkbox, checkbox, checkbox. Ooh, we got the X's. Policy depth. Oh, okay. Emotional appeals. Does that mean I made one or I didn't make any and I should have? Rhetorical strength. Biggest falsehood. Trump did nothing. Exaggeration. David, 2 million earners paid more tax. False. Best policy argument, IRS funding a deficit. And he said Medicaid inefficiency and fraud. Ugh, that was such a dog shit argument from him. Destiny provided more accurate data and structured policy reasoning, while David relied heavily on emotional appeal, rhetorical traps, and cherry-picked stats, though he made a few strong points on inefficiency and tax perception. You know what? I'll take it. We take those. Oh no. Well, this is a spooky article. One agency that is currently completely professional but might not stay that way is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which produces inflation data. Former heads of the BLS have been sounding the alarm. For example, Erica Grosjean, who ran the agency from 2017 to 2021, warned just before the last election that if you convert a large swath of senior civil servants to political appointees, then you're really going to seriously undermine trust in the objectivity of the data. True, she focused on the issue of trust rather than the data themselves, but why assume that the data will in fact remain objective? Imagine that you're heading into an election and inflation numbers are running at, say, 4 or 5%. Do you have any doubts that Trump will insist the inflation is fake and pressure the BLS to report better numbers? Okay, maybe Trump and those around him won't try to meddle with the data, or American institutions will be trying to stop them if they try, but what exactly when over the past 8 years has anyone insisting that there are some things Trump won't do or that he won't be constrained by our institutions, which after all ultimately consist of people, been right? Now, if Trump appointees begin fudging economic data, we'll know there are enough independent ways to estimate inflation. This was a Paul Krugman article in January of this year. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not good. This one roasted you. Can you watch this video of debaters and check for facts or arguments? Who won? Deciding on whether the debate is subjective and depends on your own evaluation of the arguments and the evidence. The debater who, with glasses, made claims that were more consistently supported by the factual evidence found. The bearded debater made some accurate claims about the number of boarding crossings, but other claims were not as clearly supported by available data. Well, that's not as bad.
Republicans on what happens. Mr. President, what advice do you have for Republicans on Capitol Hill heading into midterms? What do they need to do? What can they do to, hold?
Well, one of the things they're going to be talking about pretty soon are the tremendous drop in drug prices. We've cut drug prices by 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500%.
Crazy.
I don't mean 50%. I mean 1,400, 1,500%.
Yeah.
Because we're going favored nations. We want the same prices Europe gets. We want the same prices other country gets. And over the years, 25, 30 years ago, it started where they were charging us much more. And I put an end to it, with a letter that you saw last week. So I think that's going to be a point. I don't know how anybody could win an election if they're on the other side of that issue. So we'll be dropping drug prices. It'll start over the next 2 to 3 months by 1,200, 1,300, and even 1,400% and 500%, but not just 50% or 25%, which normally would be a lot. because the rest of the world pays much less for the identical drug.
True.
It's on my list. Caroline Levitt.
She's become a star. It's that face, it's that brain, it's those lips, the way they move like she's a machine gun. Is she in the room?
She's in the room.
She's a star, and she's great. She's a great person, actually, but she's, I don't think anybody has ever had a better press secretary than Caroline. She's been amazing.
Mr. President, thank you, but she's on my list.
Those lips. Those lips. Those lips. Just as a heads up, and a reminder, constant reminder, that this lawsuit existed and that Fox News was completely out of pocket. Jeanine Pirro, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Pirro. I don't know to where my eyes. Pirro had a Fox News talk show. She was also actively supporting propaganda about Dominion in order to lie and say that the votes were rigged in 2020. Clark, I think, was one of the Fox execs, David Clark. I have a 1:30 news call, but need to talk JGP right after. I think that's for Jeanine Pirro. Bottom line, I don't trust her to be responsible tomorrow. Her guests are all going to say the election is being stolen, and if she pushes back at all, it will be just a token. Despite what she said to Jerry and me, she's now going off on her conspiracy tangent on a show staff call. She was fucking crazy, even behind the scenes. From Jerry Andrews, who's another Fox News exec, to David Clark, reckless maniac. From Rupert Murdoch to Susan Scott, terrible stuff, damaging everybody, I fear. Probably hurting us too. Seems chaotic. Talk tomorrow, I hope. About Giuliani, yes. Sean and even Pirro agrees. Spoke to Hope. We'll update you tomorrow, because I think Giuliani, this was, I think, when the election was pretty fucked and they couldn't find anything, and even these people were like, this is probably not going to turn out to be anything. Correcting claims about election misinfo. The brain room is going through this now. Jeanine dictated it to Tim. It's rife with conspiracy theories and bullshit, and is yet another example of why this woman should never be on live television. This was about, I think, Sidney Powell, because Sidney Powell had sent them something. From Jerry Andrews to David Clark. This is completely crazy. Hi, here's my part of the script check claim, but now come the president's lawyers pointing to an organized criminal enterprise, a conspiracy by Democrats, especially in cities controlled and corrupted by Democrats. Come the president's lawyers with allegations of a company called Dominion, which started in Venezuela with Cuban money, and with the assistance of Smartmatic, they allege are capable through a backdoor of flipping votes through software. Come the president's lawyers alleging that American votes in a presidential election are actually counted in foreign countries. Keep in mind the evilness, right? The evilness is that they claim that the Democrats lied to us by saying that Russia could change the vote. The Democrats never said that Russia could change the vote. However, these people lied when they said that Venezuelan-controlled companies could change the vote. They actively pushed that conspiracy. That was what the whole Kraken was supposed to prove. Incorrect / cannot confirm. Dominion Voting Systems did not begin in Venezuela. It was founded in Toronto in 2002, a different voting machine firm. Smartmatic was founded by 3 Venezuelan engineers. Smartmatic has been accused of having close ties to the Venezuelan government. According to Dominion, Smartmatic is one of their fiercest competitors. The only verifiable link between the two companies is that Smartmatic and Dominion both purchased Sequoia Voting Systems, a private U.S. company, at different times. Smartmatic sold Sequoia in 2007 after Representative Caroline Maloney raised, whatever. So these were, yeah. So Fox News knew that this was bullshit. Jeanine is just as nuts. I only bring this up because Clappa, that wonderful lady who hosted this Fox News show, is now a federal prosecutor, a U.S. federal prosecutor in the D.C. district. Clappa. The U.S. Senate has confirmed Jeanine Pirro, a former Fox News host and staunch Donald Trump ally who boosted lies that he lost the 2020 presidential race because of electoral fraudsters, as the top federal prosecutor for the nation's capital. By the way, you want to talk about deep state? You should actually do things. I can't say it, I'll get banned from YouTube. But if you ever hear somebody supporting somebody like this as being a noble prosecutor in the United States, you want to talk about turning the legal system into a fucking joke, and you want to talk about deep state allegations and ties between the media and the politicians and our criminal justice system, it really doesn't get much worse than this. It's hard to imagine it being much worse than this. Than a person who worked for a mainstream media company that lost the largest lawsuit or paid the largest settlement ever in regards to a defamation lawsuit about election fraud, that one of the people who was perpetuating that lie is now a U.S. prosecutor in the District of D.C. due to Donald Trump appointing her, and the entire Republican Senate going along with confirmation. That's just... what do federal prosecutors typically do? Prosecute cases federally. These are going to be the people that I believe are the ones that are responsible for putting together cases against people that they've designated as having committed federal crimes. In a statement issued by Pirro after the vote, the Republicans said she was blessed to have been confirmed as the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Get ready for a real crime fighter, said Pirro's statement, which called the U.S. Attorney's office she had been confirmed to lead the largest in the country. She hosted her own Fox show, Justice with Judge Jeanine, and more recently she became a co-host of the Fox show, The Five. Pirro used her time at Fox News in part to publicly support the basis claims that Trump lost his first presidency to Joe Biden in 2020 because of voter fraud. In 2021, she was among several Fox News hosts named in the defamation lawsuit against Fox News by Dominion Voting Systems, which accused the network of knowingly airing false claims about the company's voting machines after the previous year's election. Fox ultimately settled the lawsuit for $787.5 million and acknowledged that the fraud claims were false. At the end of his first presidency, Trump pardoned Pirro's former husband, Albert Pirro Jr., after he had been convicted in 2000 on federal charges of fraud and tax evasion. What was that for? Damn, sentenced to 29 months. Four months after being convicted of conspiracy and tax evasion, Albert J. Pirro Jr., the influential Republican businessman and husband of Westchester County's top prosecutor, Jeanine Pirro at that point, was sentenced today to 29 months in a federal prison, concluding a trial that put the Pirro's lavish lifestyle on display. The sentence rendered by Judge Barrington D. Parker Jr. was less than the 33 months that prosecutors had sought, offering some solace to Mr. Pirro, his family, and the packed gallery of supporters who attended today's proceeding. Yet for all the moving testimonials from Mr. Pirro's friends and colleagues about his character and kindness, Judge Parker said that in the end, Mr. Pirro could only blame himself for improperly deducting $1.2 million of his personal expenses as business write-offs in mad pursuit of some American dream with the cars, the vacation homes, and the paintings. Over how many years? $1.2 million. Is this over like 10 years or is this over like 1 year? I'm very curious. It was an assessment that Mr. Pirro did not contest. Instead, Mr. Pirro, who had been a formidable Republican lobbyist and one of Westchester's top real estate lawyers, told the court in a 3-minute speech that he accepted responsibility for his actions. He said that he wanted to apologize to his friends, fellow... Destiny. Trump pardoned her ex-husband on his last day. Yes, this is the guy that Trump pardoned. What does it matter, though, if Trump pardoned this guy? Why would he even do it? Why would you... Is there anything to gain for being pardoned after you've already served your whole sentence? Do you get anything for that, or... not being a convict or a felon? Does that matter? President issued overnight to loyalists such as alt-right provocateur and former aide Steve Bannon, and celebrities including rappers Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Huh. Weird. Not based, not cool. Whatever. All right. Do I care about this? Do I really want to be triggered by this right now?
Obvious the way that she talks that she's just totally fucking... Like, at least Trump is funny when he's retarded.
He's not really that funny anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but if you wanted to say that Trump was funny in 2016 when he ran, he was, but he was also much sharper. Like, it sucks that even on the senility point, even if you want to say, although it is funny now, because I think I've had multiple people in debates admit to me that you can't really know if Trump is going senile because he's so fucking retarded, that Trump is not as funny or as fast now as he was in the first 4 years, which is fair. I mean, he's like 82 years old now or some shit. But when people act like that, like they're in denial of that, I don't know. It's just kind of cringe.
She's just retarded. And you never go full retard.
And I don't want it to be transactional where I'm...
Like, Kamala is probably smarter than Trump in every single way, which would probably be the most painful thing for the misogynistic race realists, because Trump should have the advantage, at least in those two categories, but...
asking for their vote.
What? What?
Need to be, and I just don't want to, for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I want to travel the country, I want to listen to people, I want to talk with people, and I don't want it to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote.
Okay.
What, do you not understand that? Or maybe he's so used to listening to Donald Trump bumble like an actual fucking retard that he just can't decipher like actual sentences anymore. Like, it's pretty obvious what she's saying.
Well, I gotta say, I want to talk about the book, but just to go back to what you just said, is that I have to say, as someone who is very qualified for the presidency, a senator, attorney general of California, a vice president of the United States, and then a very hopeful and dynamic presidential candidate for the 107 days that you had to run, to hear you say that it's broken, to hear you say that our systems aren't strong enough, is harrowing.
You had 4 years to fix it. You were the vice president of the United States of America. You didn't even fix it. Don't be intellectually dishonest.
I don't even know how you counter that. It's that thing, the saying like you're not even wrong. Like he's like not even saying anything of substance to, like, what is Kamala even complaining about that? We'll ignore the fact that she was the vice president, that even like the president could fix. Like, what?
You may disagree with what she says, but she's clearly intelligent in a conventional sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say she's probably above average intelligence, but I think that if you rank her among the other people that you could elect for president, she's pretty much at the bottom. You're right. She's smarter than the average Walmart American.
Like, Trump is the Walmart American. Does he not know that?
But that doesn't necessarily say a whole lot. I mean, I don't think being better than average is something that's impressive whenever you're electing somebody to be the president.
But being funny sometimes is enough to be elected as president.
Well, but it's also evident, isn't it?
No, it is.
And it is.
It is harrowing. I mean,
it's evident. What about it is broken? It's broken because you lost? What is this, Xbox? I was using the wrong controller.
I mean, there's
Well, what have they been complaining about in the interview? Has he been listening, or?
There's almost no first word bad enough.
But it doesn't mean we give up. That's not my point.
Okay, because that's what
you just got done talking about how you're going to give up.
I'm hearing like you don't want to be part.
Did she just say she was going to give up? Did I miss that part? Why was this linked at a timestamp? I should have started at the beginning.
fight anymore.
No. Oh, absolutely not. I'm always going to be part of the fight.
Okay.
That is not going to change. I'm absolutely going to be part of the fight.
Yeah.
This is the reason why these shows are getting canceled, is because it's all the same shit, bro. Like, it's all that time.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump literally repeats the same like 6 slogans over and over and over again at every single fucking meeting and media appearance and interview, and when he's talking to his daughter-in-law, who's like now a fucking host on Fox News. And
But I think that we have to acknowledge and agree that, I mean, look, the power is with the people. That has always been
That's the broken part for you.
ideal and dare I say, the strength of our nation, of America, that we believe fundamentally the power is with the people.
We the people.
And we the people. And I believe right now that it is important to do what I can do from the positions that I have held and what I have seen about the world and our country to get out there and remind everyone who needs reminding right now of their power. It is out.
Damn, is she drunk again? I mean, she certainly acts like it, bro. Like, it's just embarrassing, man.
like, listen to how these like subhuman fucks like talk about her. It's like, and like, these are the people who are like, yeah, you know, the Democrats just didn't earn my vote. The Democrats just needed to do more to earn my vote. Like, I'm sorry. You're legitimately fucking retarded. I don't know what somebody could do to earn your vote besides like feeding you more Crayola crayons. Like, what the fuck are we even, like, it's center left. Those are your people. Okay. Not the socialists and tankies, not whatever like disgusting subhuman filth this is. Okay. But just center left. Have a more positive platform. Build out your party and your people who are going to like actually stand up for that platform and not be immediately conceding every single fucking point everywhere you go. Okay. Yes, Biden did fuck up a lot and Biden shouldn't have pardoned his son. There was the joke response is Biden fucked up his pardons because he should have pardoned more people. Okay. Because we can see that now as they're going after fucking Jack Smith for an investigation. The real answer is that what I said to Pisco on when we were talking at night, I think that Biden did make a mistake with regards to the Hunter Biden pardon. The mistake was he shouldn't have said that he wasn't going to pardon him. That was the mistake. He really shouldn't have said that. And I unequivocally 100% believe that he shouldn't have said that. That was a stupid thing to say because he should have pardoned him. So him saying that he wasn't going to do it was dumb. You have no idea how insane the Republicans can be. You should have never said that you were going to take that off the table. The mistake wasn't pardoning him. It was saying he wasn't going to do it.
They're not part of a fight. They're not yeah, is this an applause track? Are they paid off? So they have lights and everything that go on. Like the studio audience has like lights that go on and it says like, please clap. Like it's like.
What do you think Asmon sits on the moderate right to unwitting fascist chart? The problem is it's not just AsmonGold. The problem is that it's literally everybody has been so mind fucked by the conservative media that you have to champion these talking points. Like you have to be saying these things about the Democrats. You have to be saying that Kamala does like think about how funny it is that the word salad thing got popularized about Kamala. Meanwhile, Donald Trump creates a thing for his word salad, but it's not seen as a negative, it's seen as a positive, the weave, right? When Donald Trump is doing the weave, all he's doing is showing that he's incapable of actually answering any question of substance, and he's just going to ramble on like an actual aimless retard. Like that's all Trump does, but it's like funny and epic and based when he does it. And yeah, but yeah, we have to move out of that. We have to move out of that environment. You need people we need more Gavin Newsoms. That's what we really need, okay?
A Jeb Bush simulator, basically. That's the way it works. She's just drunk chatting this much. Yeah, the people have the power. That's embarrassing. Well, the thing is, what's embarrassing about that is that you say the system is broken. Why is the system broken? You lost in every single metric possible. Maybe you're the one that's broken. The people that can't accept accountability and can't own their own failures, they're really doomed to repeat them.
Just remember that the Republicans still don't believe in the outcome of the 2020 election, but okay. Destiny, what the fuck is the weave? I've been disconnected from this shit. A long time ago, I think it was when they were still running, I think it was before the election, Donald Trump or somebody around Donald Trump invented this term called the weave, which is Donald Trump's excuse for answering questions like a senile old man. So he says he does the weave. And that's where if you ask him a question, what he tries to do is he tries to be as vague as possible about what you're asking and then work in as many kind of like feel-good talking points as possible and then end on a ambiguous thing that reinforces some party message, and he calls it the weave, and everybody like laughs and jokes and they say that it's epic and based, but in reality it's just him being incapable of actually answering a question because whether it's because he's a liar or because he's retarded is hard to say. What is this?
But what happened, so with Afghanistan, I do the weave. You know what the weave is? I'll talk about like 9 different things and they all come back brilliantly together, and it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors, they say, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? He rambled. That's not rambling. when you have, what you do is you get off a subject to mention another little tidbit, then you get back onto the subject, and you go through this, and you do it for 2 hours, and you don't even mispronounce one word. And they say he had 100,000 people. You know, in New Jersey, we had 107,000 people. They never like to report it, so I say it. But
if you like truthful news,
our government. It is our country, and it is important, I think, that in this moment where people have become so deflated and despondent and afraid.
Yes.
You say the people to cater to is center left, but you have that lawyer guy and the Jill Stein voter who claim to be center left / Democrat that seem to be lost causes. How do you reconcile that? Is the answer just like a guy like Newsom who they think is funny and says it how it is? Unironically, yes. As frustrating and as upsetting as those people are, what you have to do is, and this is like a leap of faith kind of thing, you have to ignore every single thing those people say. When they say things like, when he says, the lawyer guy, when he says like, oh, I'm worried about affirmative action and I'm worried about immigration, that's a lie. They don't actually, well, they're not lying. I'm sorry. That's not a lie. That's just what they think they care about because the Republican media apparatus has thrown that in their face over and over again. But the reality is if there was like funny based epic people in the left wing political sphere who all stood on Democratic business and then advocated for their policies the same way that Republicans advocate for theirs, then they would switch positions. They think that they're policy oriented, but they're not. A lot of them don't know anything about the policy. And then for the ones that care, it's like very obviously not. Like if you just think for like 2 seconds, you'd know that it's not the case, right? Like again, I love the Ryan guy. And I'm glad that he comes on to chat. But this guy he's a lawyer and he just came back from vacation. He says he's vacation in Europe, and he's telling me that his biggest concern for his children's future is that affirmative action is going to make it so they can't get into school? No fucking shot. I don't believe that for a fucking microsecond. I do not believe that for a that you are going to sleep at night and your wife is like, are you okay, honey? What's wrong? And he's like, I had another nightmare. And it's like, what was going on? It's like, my kids applied to college and they said, no whites allowed. Like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Afraid of what?
That those of us who have the ability, which I do right now, not being in an office where I'm campaigning for that office.
No, you're not.
To be out there and to talk with folks and afraid.
Yes.
Afraid of what?
That our country, and it is important, I think, that in this moment where people have become so deflated and despondent and afraid.
Yes.
Afraid of what?
That.
Afraid of what? Well, ICE has like the 7th largest budget of any military in the world now. If you look at them, it was at 11th or whatever. Like, what do you mean afraid of what? Of getting sued by the president of the United States for saying something on a media channel that's not popular? Of being part of a network that's owned by a large conglomerate that might get pressured by the FTC if there's like a merger or something, and now who knows? Is that why Stephen Colbert's show is getting canceled? Maybe not. Who knows? Afraid of what? Maybe you're a law firm that worked with any Democrat in the past, and now Donald Trump is targeting you via executive order. What could you possibly be afraid of? Meanwhile, these same guys under Biden were like, oh God, like free speech is under attack. I'm afraid of everything. I'm so scared of every single fucking thing. Like, what the fuck happened, bro? It was 4 years of Biden. Nothing happened. What do you mean? What are you afraid of?
That those of us who have the ability, which I do right now, not being in an office where I'm campaigning for that office.
No, you're not.
To be out there and to talk with folks and remind them of their power and their importance in making a difference.
We did get one of the things.
I mean, I just want to put a fine point on this. You can never let anybody take your power from you. You can never let anybody take your power from you.
Sure seems like Trump
and
did.
that's what I think, for me, that's what I'd like to remind folks of.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Sure seemed like it was pretty fucking easy. And
I like also how they say this. It's like, you know that Trump lost like the election before this one, right? Like, do they all just like forget that? Okay.
Yeah, we sure did. That's why you're sitting here on a talk show trying to sell a book and you're not the president. And
meanwhile, the president is trying to sell us like 15 different scams. Thanks.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the reason why late night TV is dying. It's because it's boring. And do you want to know the main reason why?
You're not the target audience for late night TV, bro.
It's not funny. It's not engaging. It's just patronizing, playing to the crowd over and over and over. There's nothing to it besides...
Thank God, not like our right-wing kings.
That. It's a canceled talk show. There's Nazi rhetoric. I was waiting for it. Which one? Me, Nazi rhetoric? Well, it must be that time of the hour. And so, yeah, clearly, literal Karen Boomer brain rot. Yeah, I guess so. TV's dead. That's why we can save money by getting rid of PBS. Yeah, thank God. And anyway, that's what it is. Showmanship over actual politics. Well, it's not. I mean, yeah, it should be showmanship. This is a show. This isn't the fucking Congress. Like, we had Bill Clinton. No, I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about any of this bullshit. See, we didn't yet. See, look, bro. See, you don't need to do. You don't need to just do one. You do both. That's right. See, even if you don't like Bill Clinton, you got to admit this shit's entertaining. It's entertaining, and even if you don't.
It's influencer politics. That's what I've been saying. You got to analyze it like an influencer, bro, because that's unfortunately the direction we're headed.
Think it's entertaining. You got to admit that it's more entertaining than what we just watched. This is at least more entertaining than what we just got done watching.
And like that might be true, but that's just an argument for you to completely and totally fucking disconnect from this. Like go back to talking about wow mounts. Like you just shouldn't be talking about politics. And it's so cringe and embarrassing. That's like what the world has become, right? The Theo Vons and the and all these random podcasters now who have these like huge voices of politics. Like I don't know, man. Like just don't, just don't, or do. Do everything.
We've tried establishment Democrats.
Oh boy. Have you seen how... Sorry, hold on. Oh, fuck. I don't even know if I quote tweeted it. Have you seen that Cenk is trying to make... No, I did. That Cenk is trying to make the Epstein stuff about fucking Israel? Oh, cute. Oh, wait. Kyle is too? Kyle Kalinske is as well? Did you know that Ghislaine Maxwell's dad was the Israeli spy who sold bugged software to the United States that allowed Israel to steal our nuclear secrets? He also bought publishing houses that provided the textbooks for our schools, so we grew up brainwashed by Israeli propaganda. Israel doesn't view us as a special ally. They view us as suckers. Has any family done more damage to America than the Maxwell family, at least one of whom was an Israeli spy? With allies like this, you don't need enemies. Jesus.
Thank you
Why? This is a 9-year-old. What?
so much for fixing my porch, Handy Manny.
De nada, Señora Portillo. You know my motto. You break it,
we fix it. And with the lowest prices in town.
Stand back, ma'am. We're deporting this illegal hombre back to Taco Town.
¿Illegal? ¿Qué demonios estás hablando? No soy un illegal. Conseguir tus manos de mí.
It's dark in here.
I need my pills.
We appreciate all the tips you've given us on illegal handyman, Bob the Builder, but America just doesn't have enough detention centers to handle them all.
That's a problem. Can we fix it?
Yes, we
Jesus Christ.
Bob, you can't let them deport me. You know I was born in America.
Yeah, the 14th Amendment says that makes you a citizen, and it's a real problem. Can we fix it?
I don't comfortable with this.
White is Japanese.
God damn it. All right, give me a second. We're going to watch this. Oh, boy. Or shall I turn the speaker on and start it? 1 sec. I just want to say that the political analysis is like a combination of retarded high schooler and incredibly privileged person who doesn't have any expenses in the United States, who does politics recreationally, right? To say that like the Biden administration didn't negotiate any drugs down, except for like a few ones like insulin. I'm pretty sure like type 2 diabetics are probably one of the largest groups of people that buy drugs in the United States, is my guess. I don't know what the other 9 drugs are that were negotiated down, but like what a fucking retarded statement to make, you know? Like imagine saying that like imagine being a rich guy that goes into a room and it's like, yeah, this is worthless. So they made gas free, I guess, but like how much does anybody actually spend, you know, like on just like gassing up their car compared to like, you know, like how much we spend maintaining our yachts or whatever. It's like, what do you, like, Jesus Christ, like if it's not everything, you get nothing? Well, it's such a stupid point. And then when he just said here, why didn't Biden introduce a public option? in the 50-50 Senate? Why didn't you understand that they just won an election 4 years earlier on repealing and replacing all of the ACA, right? Like, what a fucking stupid, that's just a retarded high schooler thing to bring up. What are you talking about? Hello?
Legislation in a bitterly divided Congress. Would you acknowledge that it's difficult very often?
Oh, and it's not difficult. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh God, I'm about to come. I'm about to come. Hold on. I'm trying to think of what I need him to say when he comes. Is it going to be donor class? Or is it going to be,
in order to pass legislation.
Or bully pulpit? Donor class or bully pulpit? Either one will get me off. You're president in 2028 and you have a majority in the Senate and House. What policies are you pushing to be passed? The very first thing that I would do is I would put together a special committee to find the top 10 most powerful prosecutors with a successful track record in the entire planet. I would get all 10 of those people in the United States and give them citizenship if needed, if they're not from the US. And then I would put together 10 special counsels, and they would divide amongst themselves all of the prior Republican elected politicians and anybody even remotely associated with Trump's cabinet. And they would spend the next 2 years crawling through their fucking life. And these prosecutors would never, ever, ever, ever need to cite the law or cite legality when they're going after the Republicans. They would exclusively cite to things that Republicans did to Democrats during their investigations. So that means that if they want to build some probable cause, some grand jury indictment off of something written in a fucking memoir, they would never put in a request to a judge anything citing prior case law. They would just put something about how, oh, remember for Hunter Biden, how they looked through his memoir to establish that he, was on drugs and bought a gun at the same time. That would be the standardized, and that'd basically be the only thing I would do. And then once all the courts ran their shit, I would just leave. This is a quick thing because I haven't followed this as closely because I thought that this was all, I don't know why I'm about to say something so fucking stupid, but I thought this was all kind of still just in the meme phase and it wasn't actually this close. Are they really like ready to call the vote and they have the votes to do this redistricting where they're going to delete five Democratic districts? How many do they have in Texas? Is it 9 total? Wait, fuck. Texas Ballotpedia districts? Is there... But I want like federal? Fuck, I did the wrong thing. The districts that you set up in a state for your state seats have nothing to do with your, or generally like legally, they don't have to have anything to do with your, like your federal districts, right? Okay. On Ballotpedia, shouldn't there be like an easy way to just see like representatives by state? United States Census 2020, congressional apportionment? 2022 House elections, maybe? Congressional maps? State, no. United States congressional delegations from Texas. Thank you. Congressional partisan breakdown from Texas. Okay, so they currently have 12 Democrats and then 25 Republicans in the House of Representatives right now. Okay, and there's 4 districts they want to redraw, or 5? Fuck, I don't know if this has it in here. Okay, whatever. Anyway, apparently there was a huge walkout where the the state senators like fled the state, or the state representatives. Democratic members of the Texas House of Representatives left the state on Sunday in a last-ditch attempt to stop Republicans from adopting an aggressively redrawn congressional map. Their absence is expected to prevent the House from reaching the quorum needed to hold a vote this week. The walkout was a sharp escalation in the bitter partisan clash over a mid-decade redistricting in Texas that was requested by President Trump. Okay, here's a question. I don't know if you can put like a, I don't know what you would call this, like a trigger in a law, but you know what, I would 100% support this. I would actually, at this point, I would support a redraw of California just to fuck them. But like, would it be theoretically possible for the California state legislature to pass a law saying that if Texas adopts this law, then ours will go into effect and we will redraw? Could you do that? Like to have like a trigger like that? So then if Californian Republicans feel ass pained, at least they could say, well, fuck it. You know, that's what we put in. But I don't know if you could actually have like set a fuse on a law like that or something. One of the proposals said if another state does mid-decade redistricting. Okay. Does Texas need to visibly see a quorum like the U.S. Congress? Well, some people were saying that apparently Abbott was just going to declare their seats vacant and then do it. The walkout was a sharp escalation of the bitter partisan clash over mid-decade redistricting in Texas that was requested by President Trump. Republicans of the state legislature were rapidly moving forward with the map drawn to flip 5 Democratic congressional districts to favor Republicans, being passed out of 2 committees over the weekend. Evil, by the way. A floor debate on the map and a potential vote of the full House was scheduled for Monday. The ultimate outcome is far from certain. The walkout could delay action in the legislature for several weeks or more, but comparable past attempts to block Republican legislation and redistricting in Texas have eventually failed. Most of the Democratic lawmakers who took part were heading to Chicago and took off shortly before 5 p.m. Central Time. Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois has been weighing whether his state would respond to the move in Texas by redrawing its own congressional map in the Democrats' favor. The Texas Democrats who flew to Chicago plan to hold a news conference with Mr. Pritzker late Sunday at a local Democratic Party office near the city. A smaller group of Texas Democrats were going to New York, where they were expected to meet with Governor Kathy Hochul on Monday. Texas Republican lawmakers could try to compel the Democratic members to return by issuing civil arrest warrants for violating the rules of the Texas House. Yeah, but no, other states aren't going to enforce that, right? They don't even have to. As they did during a previous walkout or by withholding pay from the members and their staffs. The Speaker of the Texas House, Dustin Burrows, a Republican, said in a statement that all options will be on the table if not enough members are present when the House meets on Monday at 3 p.m. Do you think a state police officer could go to another state to arrest somebody for fleeing a state? I hope Radiant's not in chat. Oh, he is in chat. I'm sorry. I love you. I bet you had all this on the news today. I love you, buddy. Just in. Abbott says he may treat fleeing lawmakers as having forfeited their offices and move to replace them. He also suggests they could be subject to felony charges if they accept payments to cover impending fines. Money is fungible. How would you even prove that? What? Real Texans do not run from a fight, but that's exactly what most of the Texas House Democrats just did. Rather than doing their job and voting on urgent legislation affecting the lives of all Texans, just the redistricting, that's what the special session is for, I believe, right? They have fled Texas to deprive the House of the quorum necessary to meet and conduct business. These absences are not merely unintended and unavoidable interruptions in public service, like a sudden illness or a family emergency. Instead, these absences were premeditated for an illegitimate purpose, what one representative called breaking quorum. Good. Fuck them. Then they should do it. Fuck them. Fucking A.
must. It's
Wait, I'm sorry. What was this written yesterday? I don't know when this was written. Texas courts recognize that a vacancy may occur by abandonment of office. Whether a specific legislator abandoned his or her office such that a vacancy occurred will be a fact question for a court and is beyond the scope of an attorney general opinion. Through a quo warranto action, a district court may determine that a legislator has forfeited his or her office due to abandonment and can remove the legislator from office, thereby creating a vacancy. Very truly yours, Ken Paxton. Is Ken Paxton based? Do we like this guy or do we hate this guy? We hate this guy? He's insane. Okay. Even if he is insane, I at least appreciate that he respected the process and procedure. I feel like if it was Bondi, she would have just said, this motherfucker, these guys all abandoned their offices, and we're telling everybody immediately to go and make sure that they are ruled abandoned or whatever. He still might be crazy, but... He got impeached for being drunk at work? So? That sounds based. Well, it depends on what his job was, I guess. I don't know.
It's no different than what MAGA is doing with their faux populism.
I think this was back in 2021. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, okay, I see. You're a fucking child and you don't give a fuck about anything like that actually happens in terms of policy. Is policy debate just becomes like 3 pet issues for you because you're too fucking retarded, I guess, to recognize that there are other massive parts of this country that are massively important to talk about. Like if you want to talk about abstract or concrete things like rule of law, it's a really fucking big deal that has been utterly trashed. Some of these Supreme Court rulings are just fucking insane. And the legacy that we're going to be, how am I saying a legacy? It's a 6th Street Court. Who the fuck knows how much longer it's going to be a 6th Street Court for? The horrible rulings we've got and the rulings of the future is the thing. The massive defunding of scientific research is like a footnote that people are like offhandedly mentioning is going to have dramatic, horrible downstream impacts on this country. The destruction of all of our international relationships and the entire rest of the world. Look at the United States like a fucking DID schizo crazy person when it comes to writing any type of deal, whether it's trade or alliances or anything else. Like all of these things are horrible. But it's like with Cenk, it's like, we 15-hour public option. We 15 hours. Like that's the only fucking thing. Like his rectangular head can only fit 2 ideas at one point in time because it wasn't the right shape to entertain. Oh no, he wasn't. Come on, he'll say it.
They represent their people.
No,
Joe
they
Manchin
don't.
represents
No,
his
they don't.
people. They sent him there. How do you know that?
They represent the donor class. Well, this is where I have to part from IRI here. I don't know why IRI would assume that he has any fucking idea what West Virginians want just because of who they voted for. How stupid. Now, Cenk, the Californian, who named himself after a radical group of people that were part of some of the largest genocides in all of human history, okay? Now, Cenk over here, okay, the Californian liberal media guy, he absolutely knows what West Virginians want, okay? This is the guy right here. This is the guy right here that absolutely is ready to tell you what West Virginians want, and it's not what they voted for or what they voted for. So retarded.
You're not from West Virginia.
Okay, hold on. They represent their donors.
The
so
BS.
Okay.
Yes, MLK was a supporter of Israel. He also said anti-Zionist is inherently anti-Semitic and ever will be so, which drives leftists crazy. Damn. Although, to be fair for... Hold on. Was MLK... Did he die in 64? MLK assassination. I don't actually remember the date. I'm not going to pretend. Fuck! 68. Oh, never mind. Okay. Because I was going to say, if he died before the 6-Day War, there was no occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. So maybe lefties could like say that, well, he was okay with Israel before they occupied the territories, maybe. Although I don't know if they would even be okay with that. Who knows? Valve, come on. Oh, he's like this. Oh my God, I need a Cenk sound effect of a, oh my God. Like a Steam release sound effect? Is it this? No. Like the one where it's like starting to blow up. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? What would you call it? No. Wow, Deej, thanks for the 5 tier 1 subs. Oh, tea kettle. I'm sorry, I'm not British. That's what I was thinking of. Is it this one? Okay, that's close. Isn't there like a pressure valve as it's like starting to like pressurize? Isn't there like another sound effect that's not quite a tea kettle? Am I thinking of a different one, or is it just a tea kettle sound effect? Train whistle sound effect? No. No. Steam whistle, I swear. Steam whistle sound effect. No. No. I think the tea kettle was the one I was, if she did build a bit. I don't know what his business, but she should have asked is, oh, I'm sorry. When you said that they did a 20% or $20 million investment, does that mean that they just like gave you like a preferred loan or something? Or did they buy equity in your business? Because if they bought equity in your business, how much equity did they buy? Doesn't that actually give them the ability to make decisions for your business? Like, is there not some kind of board or whatever that represents shareholder interest then that could actually force you to take a certain position or stance that you don't agree with potentially, right? Like,
investment, you're going to be tiny. So
can somebody actually show me that? 20 mil investment, the Young Turks. That's a killer question if they got some big chunk of equity for that. Led by growth equity firm, 3L Capital. The valuation of the Young Turks in the deal wasn't disclosed. I wonder how much equity they got, or if they still are like big owners of parts of the Young Turks business. I have no clue. It's not publicly traded, so they don't have to like publish it on this, I guess, right?
So what some leftists say is, no, don't ever build anything. Don't ever take an investment. Don't ever do anything and build a big business.
He's channeling. I see him. Wait, do you guys see him? Do you see him? Because I see him. Do you see him? There he is. He coming. Wait, read that section. Oh, I skipped this, sorry. 96, he worked as an associate attorney. He practiced law at the law firm Drinker, Biddle, and Reith in D.C., and then at Hayes and Liebman in New York City. Worked as a talk show host. Appeared in The Times, Miami, Florida. Started the Young Turks series. What? That year, Cenk Uygur wrote on a blog post on the TYT website, "It seems like there is a sea of tits here, and I am drinking in tiny droplets. Obviously, the genes of women are flawed. They are poorly designed creatures who do not want to have sex nearly as often as needed for the human race to get along peaceably and fruitfully." He also wrote in a letter to the editor in Salon that talk of an Armenian genocide was simply propaganda. Wait, what did he write on this on? He wrote an actual letter on this? Wait, does anybody have a link to this full article? In November 91, while Cenk Uygur was on the Student Activities Council representing the Turkish Students Association at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, he published an article in the Daily Pennsylvanian titled Historical Fact or Falsehood. In the article, Uygur wrote, "The claims of an Armenian genocide are not based on historical facts. If the history of the period is examined, it becomes evident that in fact no such genocide took place. There cannot be any harm in taking a closer look at history to find the truth. After all, if the genocide did take place, it should be relatively easy to prove. It is kind of hard to miss the planned extermination of 1.5 million people, isn't it?" Okay, I will say that people's beliefs can change over time, but it would be incredibly fucking weird if he started the Young Turks. Like, if he started it with that name while he still didn't believe that there was an Armenian genocide. That would be really, 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 really strange. Towards the end of the article, Uygur states, "Once you really examine the history of the time, it becomes apparent that the allegations of an Armenian genocide are unfounded, so the question arises why the Armenians would bother to conjure up such stories, even go as far as committing approximately 200 acts of terrorism since 1973 to further their cause, resulting in countless deaths and injuries to government officials and civilians. The answer is that they want their demands met." In June of 99, in the letters to the editor section of Salon, Uygur wrote, "The United States helped to sponsor war propaganda against Turkey during World War I as part of an official campaign to smear its enemies, as it did with Germany. Part of this propaganda was the evil butchery of the Turks against the defenseless Christian Armenians. This is what has been rooted in the popular memory of America, with very few Turkish Americans to combat the insinuations of savagery, yet this is not propaganda." Uygur concludes this letter by stating, "I once asked a professor of mine who taught a class on the laws of war and war crimes at Columbia Law School to deprogram me from all the propaganda I had received growing up Turkish. I asked him to please find me evidence of the genocide by neutral scholars so I could know the truth. After investigating the issue, he came back and said that he could not find one non-Armenian scholar who believed this was a genocide, but since it looked like a duck, it walked like a duck, and it talked like a duck, it must be a duck. If that's not the product of excellent propaganda, I don't know what is." In 2002, he started a talk show on Sirius Satellite Radio called The Young Turks. Of course, no one who had actually read Uygur's previous statements could believe that the naming of the show could be completely unrelated to the history of Turkey and Armenia. Yet this is what Uygur and his co-host of The Young Turks are attempting to have their audience believe. During an appearance at a California State Democratic Party convention in 2012, Uygur found himself confronted by protesters who were upset by Uygur's past comments on the Armenian genocide. To this, Uygur responded that he completely understood the tremendous pain the Armenian community feels about the historical situation that happened in that era, and that he could sympathize with the concerns about the name of the show. He further excused himself and his past denial of the genocide by stating that the name The Young Turks, has no historical reference whatsoever. Oh wait, is he just lying? Did he ever give, another he just said that the name was random? I feel like that's kind of wild that he got away with with using that name. Wait, what the fuck? They give a little summary at the top, but the Armenian genocide in 1908 under the Ottoman Empire, a political group named the Young Turks waged a rebellion against Sultan Abdul Hamid II, forcing him out of political office. By 1915, this political party would become the perpetrators of what had come to be known as the Armenian genocide, in which 1.5 million were estimated to have been systematically dislocated, tortured, and massacred. The event culminated on the 24th of April 1915 when Young Turk members arrested and later killed 250 various Armenian intellectuals and community leaders in the Ottoman capital of Constantinople. The evidence confirming the Armenian genocide not only abundant but also dishearteningly tragic. He really just said it was a random name they chose? That's fucking epic. Every year, the Armenian Club takes out a full-page ad in the Daily Pennsylvanian making its claims of a genocide. Oh, no. Please keep an open mind on the matter. Just because someone wrote in your world history book in high school that this happened does not mean that it did. Jesus.
I was watching football with my 3-year-old son, and he loves to ask what the different teams are, and he's like, and he knows I get really into it. He's like, Baba, which side are we rooting for, right? And so is it like the Bengals or the Dolphins? And he thinks that's really fun. Then like the Tiger, he loves the Lions because they're a big blue lion, right?
Oh, he's yeah.
So Lions against the Cowboys. He's like, how's this not fun? Vikings! There's Vikings, right? But when he was asking about the Chargers game, the Chargers were playing the Redskins.
Oh.
And I couldn't say to him, so those guys are like the Lightning Bolts, and the other guys are the Redskins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I knew. They got to change the name. This is crazy. I can't even tell my son what they are. It's that offensive.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah, what did you say?
I said they're playing the Native Americans. I was like, what is that? He's like, I'm like,
Wait, is that Jimmy Dore? Oh my God. We see this guy sometimes, right? He still like works for them. I feel like I see him sometimes. I don't know what this guy's name is, but that's Jeff Kaplan. Okay. I can't tell if people are trolling or not. I don't know. Okay. No, not. Okay, I don't know who it was. I think we see him. I think it's all this stuff. Okay. Cenk's view on Palestine was better in 2002 than it was today somehow. Well, my guess is that. Actually, never mind. I wouldn't know. On one hand, you would probably be pretty invested in defending Israel's right to defend itself from Palestinians, because that's basically what Turkey did when they formed their own country. I think after the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, part of a big thing was like getting rid of all the people that they didn't consider part of their like ethnic group, and so the Armenians, the Greeks, and a couple other smaller groups got expelled. But I feel like Turkey, Turkey has hated Israel for a long time though, so I'm not sure. But that might not extend to him being a Turk in the U.S. I don't know. I wouldn't know all the workings there. I know that Turkey hasn't been a fan of Israel for at least the last 2.5 decades. But I don't know why. I feel like everybody hates Turkey, and I feel like Turkey hates everybody else. Like they blow up the Kurds around them. They blow up Russia when they fly by. They're in NATO. But then they also fucking hate Israel, and they like to launch little meme things in their direction.
What I would do, it's not the kind of stuff I would say, but it...
Oh shit, somebody open this. Oops. Or link this. Oh my God. Wait, all my browsers over here just froze. Where are we? I don't even know in Syria. I don't know how Erdogan felt about Bashar al-Assad. Are there I could be totally wrong, but I feel like just my feeling from the little bit of history I knew is that he just didn't give a fuck about Assad. He was like, whatever, I don't care. He went against Assad, did he? Very bad relationship with Assad. Okay. I know that I think Turkey bought a lot of ISIS oil. I think that was, I thought that, oh my God, all my information from back then, this is so long ago, but I thought that Turkey was one of the #1 consumers of ISIS oil, that they were basically trucking it all up to Turkey and selling it and then coming back to the ISIS-ran oil fields. But I don't know.
Quickly find trusted information you need.
Jesus. Okay. Okay, I don't know. That's okay. We don't have to fucking deep dive on Cenk. Fuck.
Let's get into it.
Okay, we'll watch the rest of this tomorrow, I promise, okay? I need to sleep. It's fucking 12:15. Alright. I love you guys. It's been we'll do our connections. Fuck it. Fuck, we're not gonna be able to do it tomorrow now. Aphid, beetle, cedar, decay, easy, effort, geo, tick, beach, vendetta, apple, pine, mite, cookie, yew, and ziti. Trees, cedar tree, yew tree, apple tree, pine tree. Boom! Come on. Is it seriously not? What about bugs? A mite, an aphid, a beetle, and a... I don't know what a ziti is. That sounds like a fucking vegetable. A tick? Insects? Things? Anthropods. Oh, of course. That's what I meant. Fuck. I have no idea. I can't believe these aren't trees. It was one away. Yew is a real tree, right? I got that from RuneScape. I assume maybe types of wood? Cedar wood, pine wood, yew wood. Are one of these, is this a wood that is ziti a wood? Or beech wood? Is that a wood? Oh, okay. Beech tree? I don't know. Okay. Of course I knew that. Okay. Monsters? Cookie monster? Apple monster? No. Effort, A for effort, A for decay, A for geo, cookie. This is going to be so retarded. I can already tell it's going to be super retarded. Like, what could decay be besides radioactive decay? Or, like, rotting corpse? Like, radioactive apple? Radioactive vendetta? Radioactive easy? DK? Oh, no. It's not just going to be, like, 2 letters. Like, DK... EZ, ZT, GO. Okay. I have apple, cookie, effort, and vendetta. I have no idea. Oh my god. The letter is A for apple, letter is for V for Vendetta is a okay movie. A for effort. What is it for a cookie? What is it for an apple? A for apple? It's like learning the alphabet? It's okay. And in the children's books, they put E is for effort and V is for vendetta. Okay. True. All right, be careful. See you tomorrow. Showtime.